Hello and welcome back to another tutorial. Today we are going to focus again on the Serge SSG, the Smooth and Step Generator, which in this panel that I have from Loudest Warning is this vertical row here. And today we are going to focus on how the SSG in its numerous applications can be used as a low-pass gate. A low-pass gate is most famously known from the Buchla world of synthesis, but it can be achieved very easily outside of Buchla and can be achieved without Vactrals. We won't go into too much more detail of what a low-pass gate or an LPG is, but just quickly dive into how we can patch it up or patch program it on the SSG. So the first thing that we're going to do as a reference is just listen to this pulse wave. So we'll take pulse wave out and go directly into a VCA. So nice and rich and full of harmonic content. We're going to go ahead and take this same pulse wave and plug it to the input of the SSG, on the smooth side to be specific of the SSG. And we won't hear anything yet because we have not yet patched the output of the SSG to a VCA. But we'll go ahead and do that now. So we'll take the smooth output, this blue jack, and plug that into the input of our VCA, which is going directly out to an audio mixer and running through a bit of reverb in the mixer. All right, so now you may or may not hear it. I do apologize for the cell phone audio in this series of videos, but we are already filtering the audio. So we're going to turn the smooth rate completely clockwise. And now we more or less hear what we heard when we took the pulse wave and plugged it directly into this VCA. Although slightly altered. It is being slewed. It's just being slewed at such a fast rate that you can't really tell. But it does sound slightly different. We can take a quick example, unplug from the VCA here and plug our pulse wave directly back into the VCA. So a little bit more high end, a little bit more bright. The SSG does just kind of eat away a little bit of that high end without, even at the fastest rate, fully open, you could say, on that filter. It's still going to be a little filtered. But that's kind of the beauty of the SSG and the Serge, is being able to patch this way and really find new harmonic content that you couldn't find through other patching methods. So go back to the input of the SSG, take the smooth out to the input of a VCA, and we're back to hearing that pulse wave. We can change the frequency, but it just sounds a little bit better when filtering those lower tones. So what we want to do now is we want to voltage control this smooth rate, and what that is going to do is filter our audio. It's a very mild filter. There's going to be no resonance. It's not going to be squelchy. We're not stepping into acid territory with this type of filtering. But it's mild and it's beautiful. And so a low-pass gate handles both the frequency content and also the amplitude content. So this particular patch does both of those. When we reduce our slewing rate, we are both simultaneously reducing the amplitude and the higher frequency content. And we can actually show a demonstration of that as well. By going directly back into a VCA, we can hear what it sounds like to just adjust volume. Very much on and off, very much a gate. But when we get that slewing action, and it slews those higher frequencies, you get that filter sweep. So next we want to put this under voltage control. I'm going to cycle one side of a DTG, a dual transient generator. It's just a essentially a envelope going to cycle it by taking its end pulse and going back to its input using a shorting bar. You can now see the LED activity. There are cycle switches on this unit as well, but I always like doing the shorting bar. So we'll take the voltage out of this envelope where we can see it has a pretty high fall and a fairly low to kind of moderate rise rate. And let's go ahead and stick that into the voltage control input of the smooth side. Now we're not hearing anything here, and that's because we're basically already completely open with our filter by having the frequency of the smooth so high. So let's start backing off a bit, and we should hear the effect of this envelope represented by this LED adjusting both the amplitude and the frequency content, or the timbre. So already we can hear it. And the sweet spot, anytime you're using a slew generator, lag processor, envelope generator, function generator to be a VCA or a filter, it's always best to kind of be around the 12 to about the 10 o'clock area. We're very filtered here, but the sweet spot is kind of right around noon, and then we can play around with the amount of voltage control. So we're already maxed out with the attenuator here. Let's back that off a bit. Gets more mild, and then let's open this up a bit, kind of just like lets through the initial amount. Play with our envelope a bit. Modulate it in audio range territory. Get lost in a whole world of different tones in that audio modulation realm. Increase the rise. So there you have it. That is the most basic way of patching a low-pass gate out of the SSG. Now the same application can very easily translate to other modules. It can be done in this DTG as well. We could do a whole other video on that, but quickly we can just patch directly over almost the same inputs and outputs just directly into the DTG, which is a function generator, not a lag processor like the smooth side of the SSG. But we'll go ahead and try that out, and we get very similar results. So we will take the output here, move that into this function generator, take the input, go back into this function generator, and then let's voltage control. We're going to voltage control both, since this black switch is in the middle position, the rise and the fall. And this here is an attenuator for that voltage that we're going to use. All right. So that right there is pretty close to the sound that we just had. And I will likely go and make another video strictly on using the DTG and also the DUSG as low-pass gates and filters. But here's just a quick preview that we can basically get the same sound, slightly different, a little bit more timbre control, having the individual rise and fall versus the smooth. Both those controls are kind of tied into one knob. Hopefully that was helpful. Leave a comment if you have any questions. Thanks.